Okay, what's going on, guys? This is something new that I wanted to start off with I'm gonna bring in kind of like you could
Okay.
say a
What's
co-host or some sort with me. But not only do I want to just do the Project Open Mic show where you see what I've been doing, I also want to have, like I said, a part where we could have talk about stuff still, have conversations. So with my co-host right here, and again, more people could join anytime. If the conversation, this is basically a conversation starter. Basically, this is called the side chat, which props go to my friend Trip here, who came up with the name. So with that, I have to give credit to with the Trip. So basically, this is the show. So we're gonna talk about some topics to here. This is like random. We don't really have any full, just anything we come up with, talk and see what people say and everything. So basically, as we get a little bit of Tempo FM to is get a little right now is I'm trying to get it to get live right now, but Facebook should be live, and I know YouTube should be live. So I'm trying to get Tempo FM to be live. Waiting until they get the signal. Look at like, all right. Yep, I got the signal. So, all right then. So this is basically, I guess, stated. This is called the side chat. All right. Now you should be able to see my little face as usual. But I'll introduce my co-host in this one right here. Trip, how you doing? Did he walk away from the mic right about now? He must have. Anyway, like I said, hopefully he'll join back in. So um like I said, last night's show, I talked about how stuff get hijacked, and we're in a precedented time where a lot of things are happening that's not 2020 has been not the greatest year for a lot of people. It's really gonna be going down in the record books for what it is, and there are enough topics, bad or good, to talk about. And there's some of these things are learning moments. Some of these things are trying to figure out how to get your life straight. Because again, this was a time where things just got out of hand. Are you still there, Trip?
Yeah, sorry, I had to bow out for a moment. Good evening, ladies and gents.
Okay. Okay, because yeah, I was just saying, I was like, I'm where as opposed to have you here, and I was like, okay, when I introduce you, but it's all right. It's all cool. It's all cool. As long as you are getting it, doing what you're supposed to do.
Of course, of course.
That's yeah. So like I said, the chat is just something simple. Like I said, it's conversation starter. We talk about anything to go through, and we could learn stuff, talk about stuff. It's just like I said, just conversation starter. So um right now I'm gonna put on this, give me a second, put on the screen something. So as I was saying, 2020 has been a very rough year.
I think the word rough is a bit of an understatement.
I got you. I totally I get where you're coming from, but it's just just one of those things where there's just a lot of you know nonsense going on. But hey, so I want to talk about this right that I saw that the Smithsonian brought out, and it's a thing that I've seen all too sadly. And one of my, I would say, the themes that I've seen, and again, there's people, like I said, and I think Trip agrees with me when I always said my people's good people, not means my skin color,
Oh
nothing.
yes, don't care about the color of your skin. You do good, you're my people.
Yeah. So, but but people are worried about white supremacy and all that stuff, and they are. But I've said to me, and I'll let you speak for yourself, Trip. But for me, it's like there are white supremacies on the right and the left, right? It's truism. The ones on the right, they want their own nation. They think everybody's inferior, but they want to be left alone by themselves and be what it is. Okay. And they don't like me because I'm black. All right.
Mm.
There are people. It's funny enough. There's a lot of Asians that think that same way, and Hispanics and everything. But again, just what it is. Got it. But I rather know you don't like me, and it's just basically like a warning sign. It's like you said, I don't like you because you're black. Great. I'm gonna stay away from you. You don't mess with me. I don't mess with you. I'm good. But the ones that's on the left that has way more power than a lot of people do because they run your schools, your colleges, your movies, your television shows, your music. Them are the ones who pretend to be your friend, but they stab you in the back. Oh my goodness, they stab you in the back. And I personally call them white leftists. So what do you think, Trip?
I'd say very accurate.
It's just certain. It's just like I showed in the video last night on Project Open Mic at the end, where you see people shouting Black Lives Matter at a restaurant where there's black, white, Hispanic, everything ever, and they had black people there, and it was mostly white, young, liberal, leftist kids shouting the whole stuff to mostly black
That
people.
was such a cringeworthy sight. Not even to behold.
Yeah, and it was just something that is just gotten hold of in what we've seen today in the world, and that's why I said that the no matter some of the times that there's a good movement, but it always most when it comes to Black Americans, when something happens, it gets hijacked. And we will do a video and a Project Open Mic show about all that stuff. But so the Smithsonian, which is the one of the a very big museum. You have airplanes. It's a very big one of the biggest museums out there that has airplanes and history and dinosaurs. Like they have different wings and stuff
Oh,
like
no
that.
wonder that
I
name
do
sounds
want
so familiar. Smithsonian.
Yeah, I do want to go and I do want to go and one day and check it out.
So do I.
Yeah. So, but they released something that was kind of weird. So to me, and people say, I'll say this again because I've seen this on Facebook and many things too. People say that people are taught to hate themselves and hate them not hate themselves one or hate them you call it taught to hate and all that stuff, and and not knowing how life works and how human nature is. But there are, but again, the same people who try to, who you always say, this is great, whatever. That's why I say they look down to you.
It's like instead of teaching someone sympathy, they're being taught empathy.
In a way, but but the thing about it is they're trying with their guilt as they feel for some weird reason, they want to make it feel, I don't know, like they feel like that you are like a pet or something. It feels just condescending when they do
Oh
that.
boy.
And they teach teach people that, and mostly these white leftists teach these black kids that you need our help. You cannot make it without our help. And I don't like that. I am as Trip knows my quote, and I've said it multiple times with my stuff, which is, people are stupid, individual smart, be a smart individual. I believe in individualism because you can only control yourself. That's all you can control. Anything outside that, you throw in a lot more things that could make it way worse. You know?
Yep.
And it's not way worse. So, like I said, and for anybody out there who's listening, or whatever, I will, when the time comes, which you want that. If you guys want to join in the conversation with us, if you have a hangout, if you have a phone or something, you could get the hangout link and everything. You could join us in the conversation where we're talking about. So, but let's talk about what I was talking. Let's talk about what you see on the screen right there about this. And this is what I said. They make you feel like you cannot do nothing. They cannot, and it's sad. So let me bring that up. So the Smithsonian put up this thing called, let's talking about race, accept assumption white culture in the United States. Okay, that's what they're saying.
So,
Yes, this is
whiteness and white culture.
In the United
Wow,
States.
this is the
Yeah.
first time for me.
Well, okay. White dominated culture or whiteness refers to the way white people and their tradition, attitudes, and way of life has been normalized over time and now has now considered standard practices in the United States. Wow, okay, that's kind of weird. And since white people still hold most of the institutional power in America, again, it's kind of funny that happened, but we still had a black president. But again,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Or unless they allowed that presidency of color.
Well, hell, you could go to some of the neighborhood in Washington, in Maryland, where Freddie Gray had died, bad or good or whatever. It's funny. The cops at that time, this black young youth died, selling drugs and doing stuff. But again, this black youth died. Two of the three officers were black. The chief of the police department was black. The mayor was black. The governor was. So all these were black people in charge, but it was still white power, white racism or something like that.
I guess they're trying to say that they purged the blackness out of them and put whiteness. I can't even do this with a straight face because it's so freaking.
Well, lucky they can't see your face, right? Lucky they can't see your face. And for anybody like I said, this show is like, you just see the little the title screen put is unscripted, uncut. We are not politically correct. We will say crap. We will try our best to cut down most of the cursing, but this one is just uncut. We say what the hell you want, okay? Project Over Mike, I'm trying to get to a point where it's a podcast where you could go to Apple and everything and listen to what we're talking about and blah, blah, blah. This one, like I say, it's a conversation starter. We just talk about anything right here and say we got to say. But yeah, so the personal whiteness, you or something else, sir.
Hey,
Jeez.
I'm a theatric.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Anyway, so we have that, but again, and since white people still hold to the poor, we have all initialized some as we have now internal. We have all internalized some aspects of white culture, including people of color. Okay, that's whiteness. Okay, all right.
So are they saying even people of color are white?
They say that we have internalized. These are the things I'm going to read off that we have internalized, which is crazy. But we'll, like I said, let's read it. Okay, the first one is rugged individualism. Something I preach.
Yeah,
Individual, the individual is the primary unit. True.
Okay.
Self-reliance, as I just stated with that, that's true. Independence and authority and autonomy of highly valued plus reward, high valued and reward.
I'm down with that.
Go ahead. Individual assumes to be in control of the environment. You get what you deserve. Okay.
What is wrong with that?
Thing? Nothing's wrong with that, but I don't know why that's a white thing. That's to be a productive person thing.
Yes.
I ain't gotta do jack squat for a white thing. The heck? That's just weird. All right. So that's a weird one. And then we
that whole the one with the self-reliance thing, I am trying very hard not to make any biblical rhetorics over here, but I digress. Let's move on with this.
Yeah, I mean, they're going on like this is, and let's remember this. In the world today, white people are a minority. They're not a majority. There are more Asians, Indians, Africans than white people, but you want to say Hispanic, like they're the minority, but people have it a certain way in that regard.
The American continent, and I mean North, Center, and South, is the only continent on this planet. And I'm like, are you serious?
Only reason I'm laughing because you always do your laugh for that when you're saying that. Right. So it's just there. Are we serious? Is correct. It's just weird. So let's talk. So let's go to the next one. That they say this is a white trait, not a black, not a good human trait or good person trait. Family structure. Okay, I'm for family structure.
Yes. I'm 100% with that.
The nuclear family, a father, a mother, and 2.3 children is the ideal social unit.
Okay, 2.3 children. What's the 0.3?
They're talking about the 2.3
the reproduction rate. Because my mistake. Because I actually read.
Yeah, reproduction rate, but basically the replacement rate to keep your society going. As we know, Japan is 1.6.
Yeah, but again, my mistake, because I read the 0.3 as in, 0.3 part of a child, but that's just me. That was my
mistake. Okay, I got you. I hear you saying. Oh my goodness, that's funny. That is funny. So let's get back. So you have that. It is the ideal social unit. Okay, is it ideal? Yeah. Is it the best? Yes. Is it the best? Is it perfect? No.
But it gets the job done.
I don't believe in perfect. yes, it replaces. If you want your society to keep on going, if you want the black culture to keep on going, you need to replace the mother and the father. So you need two kids, and then three is just like I said. If you get a third kid, that will take care of the replacement rate for your culture or for your community, as they would state. Yes,
Yes.
yes. Okay. So, and we already know in America, in the black community, that ain't the
Hmm.
truth. It ain't. When you have 74% of children burned out of
My
wedlock.
stomach is already churning.
But that's something that and the funny part about it, back in the 1920s and 30s, we had a better child wedlock. Children born with the mothers and fathers were higher than white people. So this right here is kind of crazy to say this is a white thing when black people back then. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm stating this for. It's a uniquely weird thing that people look at. So next one, husband is the breadwinner and head of household. Okay, I don't say they have to be. You don't have to be.
In this day and age, especially if it's not a third world country. Yeah, but wait a minute. This is white culture.
Well, I mean, a lot of African nations have and a lot of African, Brazil, a lot of Hispanics, like they have a lot of Asian, have a lot of cultures where the husband is the breadwinner, while the wife stays home to take care of the kids. So it's kind of weird that they say it's a white thing.
Thank you for leapfrogging over there, because I was going to make that point. You mean to tell me this is brought up by white culture, but even though, like I said before, out within the third world countries, like you just stated, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that people of Africa has this kind of hierarchy, and I don't mean Caucasians that moved in Africa. So.
Mm-hmm. What up, Double A? Yeah. So that's something that is weird that they brought it. That, but again,
really weird.
I don't. Okay. The wife is the homemaker and subordinate to the husband. Again, that is kind of weird because you could go through a lot of cultures. Again, that ain't gonna be even Christian or nothing. There's Muslim that does that. There's Buddhist. There's a lot of people who do that. Again, and there's a lot of African nations, Indian nations. Like that's again. So one and the second and the third one are the exact same answer. That's not a white thing.
Speaking about Indian nations, how about the Native Americans? They have something like this.
The husband, the man goes out on hunt. The wife take care of the home, take care of the kids. Okay, if you don't want to do that, you have a choice. We are free people. You can make the choice to do that. That's cool. And I'm not knocking any woman out there who want to go and get her stuff and want to live that lifestyle. If you want to live a lifestyle that you like, and so you and your husband could work and whatever, I'm cool with that. I don't have nothing against that. But for that to be a
only
white thing is so weird.
Yes.
That's whiteness. That's weird. That's not that's the part I was talking about. Like, it's just how they do some of these things. It's not, exclusive to certain things, but they're just feeding into it. And children should have their own rooms, be independent. Now, that one is kind of weird. Children should have their own rooms. Okay, if the children want to have their own room, again, that goes to if that's what they want to do. Now, if I ever get lucky and get married, my kids would have their own room because I live in this big house.
So yeah, depends how big that house is.
Well, no, it's enough to have it. The house.
Yes. I meant to say by if.
In their standards, yes, because again, but I will. Okay, even though when I was back in Nevis, I didn't had I was me and my of course I was in my mom's room when I was growing up when I was small. So I was in mom's room when I was growing up. So me and my mom had a room. My aunt had her room. My cousins them. Well, there you go. My cousins them. My aunt and her her daughter and son. They had their own room. They had their own room. But I didn't have my own room because I was staying there with my mom, growing up. So we was in the same room, small. And oh man, it's a small room, but by the standards again. But again, I was a kid, so it looked big to me when I was a child. And
Yes.
then when we moved to St. Thomas, we had a it was a 2 bedroom apartment. I didn't have my own room, but still I had my own. At least I had my own bed. It was me and my cousin, a grown ass man, and this young and me in one room. My mom had her own room, of course, up by herself. So, it depends on how things are. But to be independent part,
That would be,
I totally
yeah.
agree with that.
That would be a big not thumbs up. Let's just say that would be the best experience
Yeah,
for the child.
and yeah, and again, my for me, yes, because I remember my young sis when I had to like tell her like get her because right now a lot of kids, and it's sad but it's true, a lot of kids, and I don't have children but I see it, are, and I hope the parent, it's kind of hard for a person who don't have kids to tell
Oh,
people who have kids that, but
oh,
it is,
are you
but it
gonna go
is.
where the child is so attached to the mother or the parents that okay.
No, 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 I'm talking about outside peer pressure.
Ah,
That peer pressure is much more stronger today than it was when I was growing up.
oh yes.
The problem is people think their online status is so important, and these kids, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, um, what else they got out there that these young kids, TikTok, all that stuff, like all those right there, they value their life of how many likes, how many views they get through that, and with school, everybody has in their phone and everything. They take pictures and everything that they really value it through that. Now, there's something that always kill me because people's like, oh man, online bullying. Okay, you can't stop it. Just like you ain't gonna stop racism. People always think you could do it. Racism gonna be around until because racism is a form of tribalism, just like classism. The root of all this isms that people like to talk about is basically tribalism. It's in our system. It's in our body. It's part of us. We're gonna come together. We're gonna disagree. We're gonna push away from things that's not gonna help me survive. And anybody who thinks close to me and I see that they're doing good, they're gonna help me survive longer, I'm gonna go with that. That's part of our DNA. That's human nature.
Yep.
Because I've stated it not once, but multiple times before. When people say we go stop end racism, I'm not saying we can't do best to have equal opportunities and everything, equal outcomes. I'm not for, because that don't work. But everything, give people the chance to show what they could do. Everything. The problem is though, and you heard me say this a lot of times, Trip, or the other guys, we used to have our chats and stuff. If we were the same color, have the same facial features, they're gonna still divide by, oh, your nose is big, your eyes is big, your ears. Even if it was the same color.
Because there's one, and I mean just one feature, no matter how minute it is, if it's
we'll separate ourselves. But even if we were the same ideal weight, we was basically a Ken and Barbie, same weight, same everything, same hair, everything. We will still divide ourselves by location. There's a reason why you have East Side, West Side, down South, Midwest. From the people who born in the Virgin Islands, who I grew up around. Was it Estate Thomas, Bovoni, Bordeaux, Red
Even down in
Hook,
St. Martin, you got the French side and you got the Dutch side. They
or
don't like
Nevis,
each
St.
other.
James. Yeah, St. James, Newcastle, St. Paul, Charlestown. We will separate ourselves. We just will. That's human nature. The problem is recognizing it and coping with it. That's why a lot of people don't want to do it, and that's why I don't like the blind leading the blind, trying to tell you no, it's there. Let me go again. Let me go. That's why I say when these people say about we're going to, we're going to help this black, like no, I acknowledge, right, that I am in America. I'm living as a friend was. I was talking to a friend. I was like, yeah, I live in as it would call a white man's nation, a white man's world, whatever. I play by their rules, but you know what? I came here. I worked hard, as they said. That's whiteness for some weird reason, but I worked hard. I enjoy my individualism. I know that if what I do can get high rewards, or I get what I deserve because I did something stupid, I know that, and I have been a successful person. God spare everything up to now. I have.
Yeah.
I have never. Again, if I go back in time and talk to my little myself, my younger self would not believe where I'm at. Nevertheless, think I'll be that I will travel the world, do shows, see different people, see things that I never thought I would see, from Australia to Japan to Hong Kong to Europe to Vancouver to Toronto, many places in the Caribbean, Brazil. Like, that was like, wow. Germany in 2006. Like, I never thought that would
I
happen.
could say the same for myself, even though I may not be as successful as you, but I never would have guessed that I would actually even at least one visit to the United States.
Yeah. Double A's like my grandmother and I shared a bed until I was 9. Hey, that happens. Yeah. When I
Yeah.
used to go back home to Nevis, because the house was a certain size, I had to sleep with my grandmother. Like, me and her sleep in a bed. When my aunt, when I was at my old house and my aunt was going through cancer and everything, and it was all things, me and my grandma sleep. I'm 35 years old, and my grandma sleep in the bed with me. It's just, yeah. So you do the best you can at the time, but again, now I'm in a master bedroom, big room by myself, because I own this house and everything. So yeah,
Hail to the king, baby.
got you. Shout out to the people at Temper FM. They were saying, they say that this is not. Oh man, like I said, these things are what people are quite crazy on. So Terry says, these are things I don't get about the white leftists, that they think that they're the only people who know the secret of a successful life. I want to know too. That's what it comes off as. Like, we're showing you the secret,
That's been boggling my mind.
but we will keep. Yeah, and Terry, you are correct. You're correct on that. Gris says, this is just. Gris says, I came from India and I moved to Germany, and I worked hard to have my own to start my own company, and I'm being successful right now. And no white person told me that.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You are correct. You sure are correct. Charles from the UK. He said the same thing, kind of different. Seeing that I came from Nigeria, went to the UK. I started doing Uber and work for the train system. Now I have my own company and family. And a white man didn't tell me that.
you.
Ah, that is funny. Excuse me. That
Oh
is
yes,
funny.
it's definitely fun.
But it's the truth. It's the truth though. Let's get back into it though, Trip. Okay.
Oh yes.
So emphasis on the scientific method. What? That
That
is
is not
not
white
a
culture.
again.
I can tell you that.
Okay.
But that is not only white culture.
That's the thing that kills me. But again, objectivity and rational linear thinking. Really? Wow. You have a high praise of yourself for real, guys. Okay. No, that is not a white exclusive. Okay. Many cultures around the world has the same thing. Cause and effect relationship. That's
The
just
same
logical
thing.
thinking.
Oh my goodness.
Quantitative emphasis. Again, same things. Like what? That is not a white thing.
Is it?
Alchemy and stuff was happening in Japan and China just before Greeks was even thinking about it.
Thank you.
What this?
Heck, even Egyptians was doing that before they even knew about.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's just weird how that works out for these people. And this is the Smithsonian. It was supposed to be a museum of records. Jeez, this is sad.
you know, I feel like there's a reason why the history books of Alexander's um Alexander's library got burned in the ground.
Well, it's not even that. There's a lot of history that's done that. When ISIS took over when ISIS got control back a couple of years ago, they destroy a lot of historical facts because they don't want that history to enlighten other people.
Yeah.
You learn from history. History is basically the history is the road to tell you what's going on before you take that fork in the road. But a lot of people, if you control history, remember, humans can't control time, and I hope when that time does come, I am 6 feet under.
They'll never control
They're gonna
time.
do some. We don't know. I can't say that without a thing right now. Remember, again, they're working on a kaleidoscope in France to find a God particle. So
good luck. By the time they find that, poor choice of words. I was saying, by the time they try to control it, we would have already been obliterated because they were doing it.
Yep. That's the thing. That's the thing that's sad. But I'm just saying, when they do that, I just don't want to be a part of it because, again, human being. I think I said human being is going to destroy this planet, or it's going to happen before we do anything. Okay, that's my way of thinking it. Yeah. But just stating that is just crazy. That logical is all that stuff is crazy. All right, let me see. History. Okay, history is not a white thing, but okay. Based on Northern European immigrants' experience in the United States.
Wait.
Okay, that's a half.
Only Northern European immigrants?
That's a half. I could see where they're coming from with that. I really could.
Yeah,
just to have an open mind. I could see that because since we had the Native Americans and all this stuff, now most of the, and it's funny that that's why people like saying about, America has fought it up. This massive land is about slavery and stuff. When you also, the Native Americans had slavery and they were butchering and killing people, just as their own people, just as bad before the Europeans came. And there were Africans that came to America before thing, and I get it. The whole Columbus discover in their phrasing, they think they discover, but we know it's not. He didn't discover
I'm
jack
like, if
squat.
it
He was
was
already here.
if it was being discovered, then that was supposed to mean that there shouldn't even be Native Americans before Columbus came here.
Exactly. So I get that nomenclature that taught from that they thinking that they discovered something which they didn't, but to them it was a new world to them.
Right. All about perspective.
So I understand. Yeah. So I get the perspective, and I could say about that one. I get that, and America itself was started from Protestants from England. So I get that. It's not based on that only, because the thing about it is there's a lot of people who come from other countries that came after this and did stuff. But the problem is, though, we're not worried. We're not talking about what this person discovered, what this person did with all this stuff done. But we worried about the first female, first trans, first all this other stupid stuff that makes no logical sense in my opinion. But I digress from that. Having focused on the British Empire
whoa,
again.
Hold on. Let's go back when you mentioned about the whole first female or transgender. I'm like, you do know that the Romans tried to do that first, right?
Well,
Like,
yeah, but that's not in America.
Yeah, right, they're whiteness too.
But it's also in a different country.
Right.
In that regard. If you're talking about the history of this country, then yeah, the other stuff you could say other cultures had it, because that's more of a human trait.
Yes.
Heavy focus on British Empire. Well, we got freed from the British Empire.
Yeah, I give them that.
They ran from. I gave them that. So far, I'm on that. Primary Western Greek, Roman, and Judeo-Christian traditions.
And what's the problem with that?
A lot of people don't like Christianity and stuff, and we've seen how that works out. Because I always laugh when I see a lot of the when the news media and everything. So with the whole when everybody goes like, I'll give an example when the guy who did the baker, which I feel so bad for that guy. He got screwed by he won, but man, it's just so annoying when people target you like that.
You have to be a sore loser to just go back on that person. Like, well, give it a rest. Take the loss like a man. Oh, wait. I don't want to call them something.
Yes, I get what you're saying. Trip. But no, it's like it's like there's like that baker. Kind of everybody got the news like, oh, he refused to bake a cake for a gay wedding and all that stuff. No, he had no problem baking the cake.
He had a problem
and decorating the cake. He just didn't think it's right to write the message that he think by his values, and he shouldn't do that. And he did say, hey, I'm going to give you the thing. You write it on there. They didn't want that. They wanted him to do it. So they were forcing him to do something that he didn't want to do. So my thing was, people, there is Steven Crowder is a person on YouTube. You go check it out. He went to several videos and showed to do the exact same thing in Muslim bakeries. They didn't do. They said heck no.
Yep.
And nobody had any charges or suits or nothing. But because it's Christianity, they want to attack that. And they want to attack that. And the thing that killed me is give me a second. They want to attack that, but then it went to the Supreme Court. They went to the Supreme Court. And he won the case, and as soon as he got back out, and all the money he spent and everything. Here comes a transgender woman to attack him for sue for the same thing. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Why? It's like, what are they doing?
Well, there goes civilized out the window.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, civility is also white culture. No wonder it's been. No wonder they took it out the window.
You are very snappy today. What is wrong with you? Jeez.
Apologies. It's just it's been burning deep down.
That's funny how.
And I'm not even American.
I get you. So they're just doing that. So that's how it is. And again, I mean, the Ten Commandments. I have to say, I have no problem to. I mean, there's you could go a little extreme, but I think the Ten Commandments are pretty good on rules to start a judicial system. I really don't have no problem against that. Thou shalt not kill, steal, all that. I get it. They're thing, but they're pretty good to stop a system of that. Because look at right now, what was it? The Supreme Court tried to do some just passed because to say that half of Ohio belongs to a native tribe, and I say okay, belongs to a native tribe, and they get ratified. Okay, I could see that. But you know why they did that? Because a guy raped an Indian person, Native American to be precise, raped a 4-year-old girl.
What?
And so because he didn't want to go to jail, his lawyer said, well, that they didn't have no jurisdiction to send his client to jail. So that's how that happened, and it went to the Supreme Court. I think that I don't want that.
Oh boy. Yeah, I heard the news about that place was basically cut in half, but that's the reason they went.
That was the president. That was the precedent that's set before the courts to do that ruling. Yes.
You rape
Yep.
I don't care, Indian or not. You did the crime. You do the time.
Well, that's what I was set up to do that. So that's how that. But that's what I said. These are things where a lot of people don't know that.
Let me rephrase that. You got caught doing the crime. You do the time.
Well, anyway, because again, I know a friend.
All right.
Hopefully, I'll get that lady to talk on the show. But she was raped she's a Native American, and she got raped, and she took me to a reserve, 2 of them to say, but took me to reserve, and I saw what's going on, and then I was like, wow, this is crazy. And these are people, of course, kind of like government. The Indian tribe have the top native, the chieftains, brass, or what do you want to call them. Yeah, they get all the money from the government, and then they shell out few money to the people in the reserve. Not all reserves are like this. Okay, I'm just pointing it out, but there's a majority of them is whatever. They have a lot of stuff, alcoholism and abuse and things inside there. And she left it, and now she's a successful person, whatever. But she opened up my eyes to see, and that's another thing that opened up my eyes to the culture to see what's going on. And it's just like, that's, again, human nature, how that's set up. Double A says, saving pedals at the attempt is the new norm.
It certainly looks that way.
Yeah. And then, it's sad. it is sad
Don't
about
make, yeah,
this.
don't make me.
Quails.
I
Go
would
so
say
go ahead.
don't make me start on a particular child.
I got you. D Johnson from Sweden saying that is crazy that they will try to free a person for raping a 4-year-old girl. They use the laws that way, man. That's what happened. So they need to change a whole half of a state to free one man from stopping a man to go to jail for raping a 4-year-old girl. Despicable.
Um, I, I don't know why. Now that I have this thought in my mind, but imagine if this was a African descent man trying to do this.
Oh, he would be in
Oh,
jail.
in a
Oh, he would be in
heartbeat.
jail. He'd be in jail. Hell, he wouldn't even survive because most people in jail would kill a person for doing
Oh
something like that.
yes. Yeah, actually, um, it would be a blessing if this in disguise that they get killed in prison because you wouldn't want to be alive for the other stuff that's happening in there. I digress.
Well, yes, that is true. You're correct about that. But what can we say about it? That's just how they do
You're like,
things.
I like them gift wrapped.
Oh, you are on fire tonight with your nonsense. What the heck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm a bit spiteful
boy.
tonight.
Oh, I would say you are. I would say you are. Jeez. That is crazy. Lee from UK say that it is crazy how a lot of people who are doing crimes to gain more power than people who don't do crimes. That is true. That is true. It's weird to see how that works out like that. You do crime and you gain that. I don't know what to say. He's
Spoken like a
correct.
true observer.
Exactly. But yeah, it's its own negativity in that regard. All right, let's go and finish this. Let's finish this up right here. See, a persistent work ethic. Okay, that should be any culture again. I don't know why that gotta be a white man
Yeah.
thing, but whatever. Hard work is the key to success.
I agree with
that 1,000%.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if you look back at Africa, the African tribes where they were doing hard work. What do you think? What do you think they had to do to survive? Let's look at that. Hard work is the key to success. Okay, how about for the African tribes over there? Hard work is the key to survival.
Which is success, because that's just human nature. You not bad. You hit it on the head right there. Work before play. I understand the saying. That's what my mom said. It said that if you ain't, do your homework or you ain't go out to play.
Yeah, because if it's going to be the other way around, when is the work going to start if you don't want to start play?
Exactly.
Jeez.
Exactly. That's kind of weird. If you didn't meet your goals, you didn't work hard enough. Okay, I understand the saying. That is not true all the time, but I understand the saying and I agree with it.
Like, yes, that makes sense.
I understand the logic. You know what I mean? I get it. So but that don't work all the time. They don't work all the time. Sometimes some people have such lofty goals that no matter how hard you work, you didn't have the talent, the know-how, or the whatever to get to that point. So that has happened. I'm not gonna say that is that. People are like, oh, I want to be an NBA basketball player. Well, you're 5'5". You're not gonna do that. But there are exceptions. Spud Webb, Muggsy Bogues.
Oh yeah.
They did. They did do that. But those are exceptions. That's to the rule. That's the difference.
He is short stacked, but he sure knows how to dunk from afar.
Yep. That's what it is. So to say that is a strange thing. How that work out. But it's like again for the Smithsonian to release this is kind of weird
Yeah.
to say that these are things that white people no, these are things that are traits that if you want to be successful, you should internalize them and do that. That's why like I said, me and my sister are the exception to the rule. Statistically, my what mom being is again, I had my father in my life majority of the time, but statistically, still we were still raised by my mom and grandma, and my mom was smart enough. And I talked to my mother about this. She did put a male figure in front of me, and I had my cousin who passed, who got that, but at least I had a male figure to know how to be like a man, treat like a man. My cousin was
Yeah.
married before he got killed, so he
I
was married.
Yeah, I was basically the different exception to the rule because I had a man in my life, but one that I thought to myself, this is not what a man should be.
Okay, like I said, to each their own. I'm not, exception to the rules, but statistically, I should have already been down the path doing stuff with it. That's the part that killed me when I always look at all these things with these guys, these guys, these guys who get killed or murdered, kill, or did some stuff that end up murdered or killed both ways with the cops and stuff. Why do you guys have now, innocent people have died from the cops, white, black, every race. So I'm not denying that either. No, there's no perfect in this. But why do these guys always have a record?
That means they had experience.
Well, they had experience in doing bad.
Well, yeah, and having
And
a
got
bad
caught.
outcome. So by logic, you would try not to do that again.
I'm just saying that's kind of weird. Look at I forgot the name of the guy who they're talking about right now, and they're up in Detroit now, saying black again with the Black Lives Matter and all this stuff, and again majority of white people talking that stuff. I forget Littleton is the name of the
I think it was
person.
Littleton.
I don't know. That kid is he should have got killed. And his brother's like, oh man, the cop took my brother. Your brother pulled out a gun and shot a cop point blank at the head. Thank God he missed the cop, but the cops didn't miss him. And the cop wasn't even arresting him. They arrested his friend who was warranted for a triple homicide.
So basically, he literally implicated himself to be attempted manslaughter against a police officer and resisting arrest.
I mean, the thinking of that, I said, okay, your friend. But here's the thing. This is why I say the thinking is crazy. They weren't arresting you. They're arresting your so-called friend who was, again, did a triple homicide.
This goes back to the point, hey, the so-called black community, when you guys tell me that I have to protect our brethren, do you mean like that? Because that is stupid.
Calm down, sir. Calm down. But no, on a serious note, on an intelligent, serious note, let's logically think what this kid was going. Because he had to think weird. Because here's the thing. Let me get this straight. Cops come up, right? I know you were scared. You had your gun in your pants. You were scared. The cops started to arrest your friend, not you. They told you to step back, whatever. So let me get this straight. You thought let me see. I'm gonna take out my gun. I'm gonna shoot the cop, and I'm gonna get away with that.
Yeah, I gotta protect my brother, man. That's my brother.
Well, he's not his real brother, but like I said, he had a little brother, and then but that didn't make no logical sense. Like you're gonna get caught.
It did not make any logical sense at all.
Why would you have done that? They're not arresting you. They're arresting your friend. So they tell you to step back. They're arresting their friend, and the video shows it point blank. He took out his gun and cocked this. You know what? I don't want the gangsters to switch their guns from not shooting somebody because they can't shoot. The problem is though, by doing that too, a lot of innocent little children and stuff got shot because they're not aiming
Oh
correctly.
yes.
Freaking hell. But because he want to be all gangster and cocked it sideways, which is the wrong way to hold a gun. He was like few feet, like maybe 2-3 feet in the video from the cop's head. Woo! And he missed. And yeah, if I was a cop, kablow, you getting shot with me. Sorry.
Because that is a threat to my life, and survival kicks in.
I mean, you got one shot off. Who said the second shot
would have missed?
What would happen? Yeah. And they're up there marching, and his younger brother said, "Oh, they took away my brother." Your brother was a criminal, son. He was on probation. Again, he had a record himself too.
Oh no.
So it's always Kim, and these guys always have the records. I don't get that. I have no problem that something happened when you're young. You went to jail. You come back out. Learn from that. Don't do anything that'll get you in trouble.
Hey, have you ever known this this old saying that the definition of insanity?
Well, yeah. Trying the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different outcome. Yeah, no, that's insanity, and that's what it is. But I don't get it when they do that. So now they're marching for him. No, he was. I can't march for somebody like that. I would never march for somebody like that. That is not somebody, whatever.
The George Floyd, that I can understand. This, however.
You know what's funny? When you go talk to Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and them, and they right now they're saying all kind of horrible stuff, saying about this and that. But funny enough, they forgot the name of the guy who got killed.
Wait, they forgot the name of George Floyd?
Yeah, they couldn't pronounce the name as much as they try. Even though they use his death to do all this craziness they're doing in Congress.
That, he had three
funerals.
Three funerals. Wow.
Well, again, they use you. That's what they use your pain to do horrible stuff.
Okay, Schumer and Pelosi. I know you two are getting are in old age, but you're not that old.
Schumer ain't that old. Oh, Schumer not old. Pelosi is
that's
old.
even worse for Schumer.
Schumer's just a hack. That's what it is. And speaking of hack, I think I was gonna do another video, but I mean, I don't want these to be super long, like the Project Open Mic. But I do want to talk about this for a quick second. Mayor de Blasio, all right, that dude is. I don't know what's going on with Cuomo and de Blasio, the two people who run New York. They're really y'all, and people gonna vote for him. So hey, y'all get. Well, hell, we know they can't vote for Charlie Rangel anymore. He died.
You know what?
Crop as
Ironic
he was.
that his last name is de Blasio because he freaking blows.
You know, they can't do Charlie Rangel, which is a guy who got convicted of stealing money from the citizens of New York, and they still vote for him.
Wait. That's just white collar theft. That's nothing. So what? So we still vote for him.
Yeah, he stole your money and you vote for him. Okay, hey.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Anyway.
Logic.
I know. Yeah, I'm showing my whiteness here. Using logic as the thing said on as the Smithsonian said. If you use logic, that's white people.
Well, you make Biden say correct. Because if you don't vote for him, you're not black.
You had to bring that up, huh? Okay, hey.
Yep, I had to.
But I laugh. I had to bring this up for a reason because this is how crazy things are. So let me get this straight. The Mayor de Blasio, because you're married to a black woman and you are very this and all that stuff. I got a question for you, sir.
Sorry.
She's crazy. Okay, that she and Cortez had them crazy eyes. do they have them crazy eyes? I don't know where they get that. That I see a woman with those kind of eyes, I'd be scared a little bit.
Yeah, those are
But-
yandere eyes. Sorry. For any
Yeah.
otaku that understands what I'm saying.
Oh my goodness. But let's talk about what happened is, which is crazy. So Mayor de Blasio, right? He went to for some reason he had a smart idea, whatever, to go in front of Donald Trump's Towers in New York and paint Black Lives Matter, which is with everybody. So let's get it straight. Again, you cannot go out and work to feed your family, but we could bring people to you. You can protest. We're gonna release prisoners out so they could rob you
Again.
and again, because you can't. We're not arresting the protesters, and we're releasing prisoners, and then you can't. If you're gonna protest, you could go out there and protest. But if you protest anything else other than Black Lives Matter, you go to jail, which is weird that you're gonna put you in jail for that. But I digress. But if you break stuff, because just like the mayor in Minneapolis said when he said that he said I do not want President Trump to bring the National Guard or whatever to this thing because we have because he can't understand peaceful protests. But then you ask in the federal government for $500 million to repair from the peaceful protests. Logic there again. I don't know how that works.
You serious?
Well, I'm serious.
What in
So you have that. I'm just saying you have that, right? And then but you came and you did Black Lives Matter. So when President Trump was with the Rose Garden and the people was asking questions, they asked him, "How do you feel that Mayor de Blasio did Black Lives Matter in front of your hotel?" He's like, nothing. Like, don't you feel it's a public street? He's a governor. He's a mayor. He could put whatever he wanted in front of there. I have no problem with it. I know that they was surprised that Trump said that.
Yep.
Oh, they was surprised. But then came this random person. I don't know who he was, but he came and threw paint on the Black Lives Matter mural, whatever, on the street in New York.
Was it black or gray paint?
It was red.
Oh,
It was red
okay.
paint. Because of Black Lives, they use yellow paint to do it. So, okay, whatever. So he did that. The person who did that, I think you're a jerk. You should have never done that. I'll admit to that. You shouldn't do that. You're a jerk for doing that. Now, again, remember, all this context I'm saying up for this. They have record murders, rapes, crimes. And I still love how the New York Times, as I proved yesterday, how the New York Times is full of crap, saying that while murders are down, crimes are up. How that
Yes.
makes sense? Because I thought a murder was a crime.
You know what? I would say, okay, in context here, and I'm going very much out of the limb here. Murder is down because if they get caught, they'll be freed again. So then we'll go back to the same person that we tried to commit the crime, but keep them alive to keep stealing from them.
Okay. Now you were
Yeah.
you were thinking it.
Hey,
But you got.
I'm doing what the New York Times are trying to say, trying to spin it. They spin it, brother. They spin it. They be spinning, brother. They be spinning. They be spinning, brother. They be spinning.
But because you heard the report. They're saying, because remember, me and you said we heard when the report came out, and we were hearing it when somebody read it. We was like, wait a minute.
That is not
I'm like,
right.
Trip, stop. I'm like, wait, is murder a crime as well? So how the heck that work? I was like, that is weird. Okay. Anyway, so you have all these record looting, destruction of property, crimes, rapes, murders, killings of all races. Funny enough, little kids getting killed, sadly. And because of a random weirdo, which again, I am not taking up for the jerk who put the red paint on the Black Lives Matter, that he was a jerk. But they took, Blasio went and took 24 officers and a sergeant to protect an inhabited space of ground. Are you freaking kidding me? So if people are dying or whatever, you're gonna instead of protecting them, you're gonna protect this yellow Black Lives Matter painting in front of Trump Towers. Where are your priorities,
Unlike by
man?
that definition, okay, De Blasio. Next time you're going to do that in front of the Trump Towers, maybe Trump actually actually should have used his own rights to call 26 cops and try to arrest you for doing that in front of the tower. I'm just saying.
Well, no, it's a public street. No, it's a public street.
Okay.
Which Trump answered it correctly. It's a public street. He's the mayor. He can do what he want to do.
Okay.
Yeah. If they have painted it on his steps or on his
property,
whatever,
okay,
that is private. That's private property. That's a different story. But the streets is public. It's owned by New York citizens. They want to paint in front of his thing. Go right ahead. And I like how he said, what do you want me to do? Yeah. So that's crazy. But no. So you got, that is crazy. That is literally crazy. Let me see if we can find it. Because again, I like to provide stuff. Give me a second here. Let me
provide proof.
Yeah. Give me a second here. For a quick second, because I know where to find it. Because it was like, what? I gotta find that clip for the when you hear some of that crazy the minions. What? That's crazy.
No.
I know. That is just crazy how that is set up. That is crazy how that is set up. That is just what are people talking about?
Worth a face palm right there. I mean, wait.
Wow, boys.
I mean, what De Blasio did is basically the whole help! I'm being repressed, bloody peasants.
Yep.
Literally took the books of # Black Lives Matter.
I got you. Yeah, give me 1 second, guys. Like I said, I'm trying to find. So you can get to provide evidence, of course. Let's see, 240, and then this, because it is just weird.
It is more than just weird. It's like we're in the freaking Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Or seems like we woken up finding out that we went through a portal from Doctor Strange.
Yep, it is. So should be there. So they have it right there. Again, to just point out, the NPD hunts man who poured red paint on the Black Lives Matter mural outside of Trump. Funny they call it a mural, but again, that's what it is. The phrasing is the phrasing.
I understand a mural is something that is standing above ground, that you can see it from far away.
Well, yeah, when they take a helicopter, when they finished it, they took a helicopter shot so they could, so you could do the PR stunt. So that's what happened. What? So again, and I said the guy who did that's a jerk. I'm not gonna deny it. Guy didn't need to do that.
This lad here, did he basically choose to be the martyr just to prove a point?
I don't know. People
Crazy
do
stuff.
crazy stuff. Again, it could be, again, there's many times where you had peaceful protests and one guy came up, threw a punch, and just happened.
Sacrificial lamb, my behind.
Well. Remember the video they last at Project Oprah, Mike, where the guy at a restaurant, that one white dude was starting, when a white girl started throwing punches at the black chick,
Oh boy.
and then the white dude started to fight the black man. But y'all said Black Lives Matter, but it was white people shouting Black Lives Matter by fighting black people. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
You
Logic.
cannot make this stuff up. So like I said, just to prove the point, the guy who did that was messed up. Here we go again. As violent crimes in New York soars, de Blasio signed 27 cops to protect the Black Lives mural.
Oh, 27 cops. I said 26 before, so I was off by one.
No, I said 26. It must be 26 plus. The sergeant is one of them.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So they had one of the Congress, Bernard D. King said, "I just heard that the New York mayor has won an eighth securing the Black Lives Matter mural at Trump Tower. At one sergeant and 8 cops, 3 tours a day. Violent shooting murders are up in New York City, and this clown has 3 sergeants and 24 cops guarding a mural. If true, it's sickening."
Yes, it's good that
And
he
of
called him a clown. Because, context matters. With crime and murders skyrocketing, and all your most of your police force is just for that.
And Derek Gibson, a black man, running for governor in New York, said it is true. And I just spoke. I was just there and spoke to the cops, and they say they are getting paid to babysit paint. Not happy about it. That's crazy.
Not happy about it. But hey,
They're not happy.
I'm getting paid.
Yeah, I'm getting paid. Exactly. I'm getting paid. So yeah, that's how that works. Okay.
Like easy money. Come on.
Yeah. And I was gonna play this, but it's gonna take too long to digest. Maybe next time we talk about it, Trip. When it how he, because this basically goes into what we were saying. This black officer was doing an interview, and he was saying it's funny how all the Black Lives Matter in the state of where he's at protesting, majority of it is white people, and they're saying the most disgusting and racist things to black people because they say we're standing for black people. Just like I said when that fight started.
Goodness.
That's how crazy this is. So we'll maybe get back to this maybe next time on the chat, on the side chat. But yeah, this is just craziness right here. It's just, that's what's going on. That's what's going on right now.
I am just shaking my head.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is
We
what it
sure
is.
live.
But yeah,
We sure live in interesting times.
Yes, a lot of people don't know that was a curse by Confucius. Yeah, he did. I want to go back to regular times.
Oh, what?
Uninterested, boring.
Yes.
But the sad part about it, this was a kid. This was a powder keg waiting to happen. Because when you what's the thing I would say about society, when they become affluent and they don't have no major outside dangers to worry about, they come complacent.
And make their own, basically making their own adventure.
Well, no, they make their own boogeyman because they want the young kids make their own. So these are kids who are want to make their own. I'm fighting for something. I saw these cool stuff. I want to fight to make the world better, even though you're not, and you're most of them are, again, those white leftists are the most racist people, calling people the most messed up names. Again, check the video that you see on the screen. If you want to go check it out, KGW as a cop talk about the protest in Portland. Cause they were calling him, they were saying, "You got the biggest nose ever," and they were saying some racist stuff to this cop, which is crazy. But they're the ones saying Black Lives Matter. Okay, whatever. But anyway, you have that stating, and then you have, of course, then you have the virus that just happened, the vid, and everybody's closed off. And now that they ain't got nothing to do, idle hands are the devil's plaything. There is a reason why a lot of these old sayings make sense and are very pertinent in the world we are today. Because again, it makes no sense to say, why are the kids going out there to do all this craziness? But we'll do that next time again. And there's a lot more chat in the Tempo, and Double A killed it in the YouTubes and stuff like that. And like I said, hopefully, again, we could get stuff in on the Facebook side and everything. But for the people up, because I'll read a couple more just before we call in it.
Oh, there's a second page.
Cash.
Just noticing there's a second page. Oh, boy.
Second page.
The Smithsonian thing.
Oh yeah. Cash from England saying that it is crazy that you have these white leftists doing all this craziness for black people, but they're making it worse, which is the truth.
Yep.
That is the truth. So it's sad. It's always sad how they're going out. How they do that.
Actions contrary to the statement. Much.
Yep. Lynn in France said, "This is what you just stated about the affluences is true. Is because it's moving. When France was on lockdown back in with the terrorists, a lot more kids got out there to do more damage, which was true. Which is weird. When France got attacked by a lot of back in a couple of years ago when they got attacked, they had like 7-8 terrorist attacks that year.
Yes,
and it was crazy. It was literally crazy on that one.
You can basically say that was a war zone.
It was. So he was just thank you, Lynn. Donna from UK said it's funny how you protect paint, but you won't protect people.
Thank you. Thank you. And even though some of those people are also dark skinned, Black Lives Matter.
I know, right? Well, his kids and his wife are black, so he's protecting their lives.
Yeah, two out of the many that's out there. Just saying.
I know. Earl basically say, man, like your show from way old. Happy that you keep on doing the show. Hey, hopefully you guys, again, Tempo, seriously. I mean, I have only 20 subscribers on YouTube. I don't have no views and stuff. You want to catch up the old stuff. I know you guys, I know by habit people do that, but help a brother out on the YouTube side, man. Come on. Just for real. But thank you all for listening on Tempo FM in Europe. I thank you guys for that. It is great. I mean, again, I started with that. I started the Radio T3 with you guys. So I gained that following, and I thank you for that. I don't have the power. I don't have the following as I had before back then, because again, my biggest show was back in 2014 September when I had 9 million viewers watching. Used to be listening to the show, listeners, and it's a far from that because I didn't have the consistency. But thank you guys, man. Still, again, go to YouTube. Excuse me. Go to YouTube. Share the videos. And then if YouTube gets a little crazy, we're trying to put it on BitChute and also on Library, so we can have a backup for all these videos that we're doing, so we can have it in the future. And of course, the website will get back up. ttrecords.com will get back up. I still own the rights to it, of course. I want to make it, re-up the website, pizzazz it up a little bit. So that'll be coming through. But for right now, the best thing you guys, and I'm not even asking like most YouTubers, as Trip could tell you, I'm not asking you for no funds or nothing, whatever. I said the first year I'm gonna spend my hard-earned money to get this because I do feel like getting some things out and bring clarity and common, simple sense. Guys, can't say common because common is not happening, but to bring simple sense and stuff for the world as best as I can.
Share the message.
Share them, yeah. So that's what this show is about. So Project Open Mic was that. So hopefully we'll get more people to join in to the Project Open Mic and have a conversation. These are conversation starters. If you think that you want to add to the conversation and go back and forth with us, I have no problem. Let us know. You can catch us on Instagram at Project Open Mic. You get us on Twitter at Project Open Mic, of course. Project Open Mic T3 at gmail.com. And of course, YouTube, you leave a comment and we can figure out something because I have no problem. I have no problem talking to different people so we could get to see if there's a consensus, what's going on. If I'm missing something, a conversation. That's why we're doing the side chat. The side chat that you're listening to right now is episode 1. We're not going to we're just basically going to a topic get fling up or whatever and we talk about it. It's not going to be like Project Open Mic is more of a show. But the side chat is just me, Trip, anybody else want to join in, just talking about issues of the day or a topic, and we just have a conversation about it like we just did. So if you're in America, you're in Europe, you're in any place else and you listen to my voice, hey, shout out a link, send us up. We could set it up and have a conversation because that's my whole point of Project Open Mic, to have where conversation starts so we can have an open dialogue of anything, race, families, relationship, religion, anything.
You people might probably come up with a solution that we haven't thought about. Greatly appreciate it.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what it is. But that's what the side chat is all about. So I don't know yet. Me and Trip will think about it to be maybe Friday or Saturday. We'll figure out which, what works. Because what works with your schedule, Trip, is better for me. Because again, you are Trip is in a different country. And sometimes we don't get best internet connections.
Oh, yes.
But hey, that's my whole point. And I'm talking to somebody across the world and having a conversation about it. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Double A, who is again my media consultant to take care of everything else. That, of course, hopefully we get Ken and Tish and Kanoshi and all those other people and Andre to maybe join in one of these days as well too. And again, but I'm open to anybody to have a conversation on any of these topics that we have. So that said, I think that's not bad for a first show. Not bad. I think we did a good show tonight, Trip.
Oh yes, very, very good.
Yeah. Yep. And there's more chats on the Tempo side. Like I said, I have more things, but hey, again, thank you guys on Tempo FM for conversating with us, Tempo Canada EU. And again, thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you,
but
YouTube.
but please, not canceling us and let us go live.
You're a moron. Oh Lord, you're something else. Jeez. But other than that, like I said, we had a good talk, good conversation. I wish everybody out there the best. Have a safe weekend. Until the next Project Open Mic Thursday, you could join in. Y'all have a good night. And be safe out there wherever you're listening. Be careful and enjoy y'all weekends, all right?
Live your lives as best as you can.
Even though it had a thing on there, remember, again, people are stupid, individuals smart. Please be that smart individual. This is Tig and Trip signing off the side chat.